Our next guest is Wanda Moore. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, it's good to have you. Tell us what you do.
I am a realtor, among other things. I do short sales, I do distressed properties, I do commercial, and all of the other kind of real estate needs. I'm also a notary.
Wow.
So I get a chance to get into a lot of different nooks and crannies of people's lives.
I'd say you get around in the different markets of things.
Yes, I do.
So you must be very knowledgeable of all those.
I've been in real estate for more than 10 years.
Okay.
So I get a chance. I've had a chance to see it all.
Wow.
The good, the bad, and now the scary, because we really aren't sure about what's going to happen in the future. The Fed's just raised the interest rate by 0.25%, and we're getting a new administration.
How does that 0.25% translate to
Well, sometimes
the
it
normal
translates into slightly raised prices, and sometimes it translates into, oh my God, what are they going to do? How are we going to afford
People
this?
just kind of tense up and
People
get
tense
afraid?
up because they're not aware of what's going to happen. You know,
Okay.
it's the unknown that gets them fearful, and I think that's probably what's going to affect the market more so this coming year than anything else, until we find out how the administration plans to deal with business and businesses.
Okay.
It's something that is scary only because it's unknown. I think the same thing probably happened when Barack Obama came in, and he was an unknown quantity, and all of a sudden it's like, oh God, what's going to happen? Well, we don't know. So the best thing for any of us to do is just sit and wait, be aware of what's going on. Like the police say, be aware of your surroundings and understand what the market is doing, and then you can move forward in confidence that whatever it is you're doing is going to be good. It's probably going to be better than what we've been experiencing.
And that's how you can help people with your
Yes,
expertise. You've
exactly.
been in this 10 years. You've seen the ups and downs. And
Exactly.
so you can kind of advise people on what to do and what not to do.
Exactly. And a lot of the times change doesn't end up being negative. It ends up being better than it was before, only because if you just allow it to come in, things end up being better anyway.
And if you pay attention, you can sometimes be the early bird that gets the worm, right?
Exactly.
Okay, very good. What do you see happening here in Fresno locally?
Locally, I see us kind of moving towards being a greater city. As a matter of fact, being more cosmopolitan. We also have a new administration with Lee Brand as our mayor, and I think that the shackles are off, and we believe that we are a strong, vibrant city. And that's going to start showing up. It shows up now in all of the construction that goes on around here, the development. No one's afraid of developing now in this area.
Yeah.
The spotlight is off of prices in this area because they're so much better. Average price of a house in California is around $500,000
Yeah.
because of LA, the big cities. In Fresno, it's still affordable. I mean, as she was saying, the agent who was here before, she has a very nice house in the Sunnyside area at $250. Where can you find a nice house for $250?
Near LA?
Where can you find a
It's hard to come by.
4-bedroom house for $250 that's in good shape?
Right.
That's a 5-bedroom house for less than $600,000. Only in Fresno.
Yeah.
It happens to be an ideal place.
And it's close enough to the Bay Area, close enough to LA that if you have to commute, it's not too bad.
It's close enough to activity, and actually Fresno is becoming a hub for a lot of those things because it's not in the big city and because it's
Right.
affordable.
Yeah.
And gas is not that bad now. And people were complaining when gas was at $3 or $4 or close to $4, but they were still going. Now they're going and they're not complaining because the gas is inexpensive. So you're always going to find something to complain about. But if you just look at it, any change doesn't necessarily have to be negative.
Yeah. And the Fresno area is more beautiful than I anticipated. I'm kind of new moving here, but you have the vineyards, you have the Sierra Nevada mountains.
Exactly.
It's a little more than I expected. And
well, you think about this. Right now, China Peak used to be Sierra Summit. opened early. Normally, we'd have to wait for the snow because of the water levels, and the snowpack is going to be measured in a couple of days. They've been skiing for a couple of weeks,
Yeah.
okay? It's an hour and a half to ski. It's 2.5 hours, maybe 3 hours at the most to go to the beach.
That's
It's
not bad.
an hour to go up to the big historic trees. Trees
Yeah.
don't die. They just wait for you to come and watch them
Yeah.
and marvel at the beauty of them. The vineyards, the Blossom Trail. That's something that nobody else has. We have that.
Yeah.
You know, Blossom Trail, 60 miles through the vegetation, the growth, the commerce that this valley supplies to the world, not just to California, not just to the country, but to the world.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Yeah. There's some breathtaking beauty here for
Yes,
sure. So
yes.
I mean, I agree with you for sure.
And where else can you drive down the highway 99 and smell the cows meeting you, right? I mean, you know you're in the Central Valley,
Yep.
and you know this is a fertile place.
That's farmland right
yes,
there.
Yes, very good.
Yeah. All right. Well, do you have any listings?
I have
Anything you're trying to
listings.
sell?
Most of them are distressed. I have commercial listings. They too are distressed.
All right.
I have no pictures of them.
For the new person, what does distressed mean?
Distressed means that either the property is not worth what we're trying to sell it for. The property owner is underwater. They're in debt for more than the value of the property is, or they have had some kind of traumatic event happen to the property. It's not livable. It's not sellable. It's not insurable. But they still own it. They're still paying taxes on it. There's still a liability. But something needs to be done. There's a solution that needs to be found to alleviate the hardship.
I see.
For the seller, for the owner.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and with those listings, is there anything special that has to happen in order for them to sell? Or?
The special thing that has to happen is patience.
Okay.
Generally, the banks or the investors that own it are anxious to get their money. The people that own it, that are indebted to the banks or the investors, are also probably without a job, encountering some illness that, is just some family tragedy that's just, there's not enough to cover everything. The banks take a longer time looking at this to make sure nobody is being mistreated or put into more unfortunate circumstances.
I see.
The banks are more willing to work with people that are doing short sales now or distressed sales than they were in the past. They still consider their bottom line, but there are programs in place, government programs in place to help people to get through this, because everybody that owns a home is not happy or have enough money to do it.
Yeah.
Sometimes your circumstances just change.
Yeah.
And you need to just
Life happens, as this.
Yeah. At the speed of light. You have to move to accommodate it. But the most thing that the thing that's required is really patience. That takes care of a lot of things.
Okay. What are some of the other options you have? You're the short sale queen. What does that mean?
That means that most short sales take a very long time. I have one that took about 1.5 years. Normally, a normal sale, someone buying a house, someone getting a loan or having cash to pay for a house, that takes maybe 3 months at the most. It can happen in a shorter period of time, but about 3 months. Short sales take forever. When they take a long time, you're not making any money
Right.
while you're waiting for the bank to approve it, or the appraisal to come through, or the inspection to be done, or whatever has to be done, or the documentation to be gathered. This time is time that you're not making money. So consequently, a lot of agents don't have the patience or the time to invest in short sales
I see.
because they take so long.
Okay.
And then the payoff is not, sometimes the investors or the banks will ask you to take less of a commission, which means you don't get paid as much. Sometimes there's just not enough money to do anything. You know, it's just not enough to spread around. So short sales are not the prime business that a realtor would go in for.
Okay.
You know, if you're going in for the money, short sale is probably not what you want to do.
I
My
see.
reason for doing short sales and being called a short sale queen is because I like to help people. And normally people that are having to do a short sale are in distress. They're just like not in a happy place. So
Right.
what I want to do is to be able to help them get to a place at least so they can start living their lives
Okay.
in a little bit more comfort.
Very good, and I'm sure there's a lot of folks out there that need your help, and good for you
Thank you.
for stepping up and taking something that most people try and turn away from.
Most people turn away from it.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Well, Wanda, I wish you the best of the 2017 new year.
Why, thank
and,
you.
I hope you close a lot of sales.
Well, I know that all of my dreams are going to come true and all of my sales are going to be successful as well.
Very good. You seem like a very positive, trustworthy person.
Thank you.
I'd give my stamp of approval. So make
I
sure you
like
get
it.
a hold of Wanda Moore, and we will be right back.
Thank you.